I'm a hustler, baby. Learned how to make something shake since I was at early age. My cousin showed me how to move weight. When it comes to the block relationship, something like love and hate. When it comes to the ops, you give, I take. You give, I take. Boom, man, we live. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Chongo, back with the Chongo channel, a.k.a. The Bad Dad, a.k.a. Rude Boy Voo, doing another reaction to these modern women. I'm here with the wife, Shayna.
What's good?
Yeah. This is a YouTube video that I came across, and it's shocking. And this is an overwhelmingly, increasingly thought of thing that more and more people are accepting this way of thinking, and it's going to really blow your freaking mind. Let's get straight to it. Modern women reaction. Let's go.
Footage, because it's got a woman in it hearing facts, who's forced to think for herself. As such, it might be removed at any moment, like it has been before. Enjoy. Excuse me, miss. Hello. Hi, can you tell me what we've missed here? Because it looks like something great happened and we just showed up now. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're in acting class, and we've chosen political speeches that we admire, and we've taken them to the park to give to the public.
All right, so before we even get into this video, I want to go ahead and just mention right quick, this is a college student, educated woman. This ain't like supposedly some dumbass regular schmegular person. This is a current college student who is in school. This is a person who literally has the right to vote and make decisions in the country, and you guys are going to hear what her viewpoints are on some of this stuff. And like I said too, this is an increasing this is an increasingly common school of thought in women.
And practice just spreading the words that we find passionate and powerful. Yeah.
That's great. I was wondering what was going on. She's up there and all these people, and I'm like, what's happening here? Fantastic. Can we ask you a really quick question for a little video? Just whatever comes to your mind naturally. What would you say? Can you name some things women just have a knack for more so than men?
Probably compassion and empathy and generosity of heart. Yeah.
That's not a lot of people go with that. And what comes to your mind if I say what would you say men are better at than women?
I don't know. A lot. I think both have their pluses and minuses.
Before this point in time, she probably never considered anything that men were good at. Let's continue.
I think men are better at
All right, so this is baffling her. Just real quick, before we get on to this absurd conversation, is there anything you can think of that men are good at? Put her on the spot.
Being providers, protectors, for sure. Being strong.
That's a good one. That should have been
strong.
Like that.
Strong.
That should have been like the first thing that she said. When he said, is there anything men are good at? She should have immediately said anything dealing with physical
sports.
Yeah, physical activity. That should have been an easy one. She cannot think of anything.
Well, certain men are good at being providers. Other ones are just
probably guarding themselves. Yeah.
Oh, don't know.
Not so good with the emotions. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Yeah. Well, they're good at a lot of things, but that's
nothing that you can think of right now.
No, that's just the one that came up. Yeah.
It's like muscle stuff. Usually we're pretty good at muscles.
Muscle stuff?
Like strength. That's an easy one. That's a go-to one.
Oh, I think women are good at that too. Yeah.
Like as a tendency, generally speaking, women are more connected to the emotions, but men are usually a little bit more muscly.
I think that's been the stereotype, but I think that's definitely changing.
This man literally all he says is that men may be better at things dealing with strength and muscles, which is all the way facts. Men have like 3 times more muscle, upper body, like 90% stronger than most women upper body strength. Women do have lower body strength, but when you compare pound for pound, it's like the muscle mass. It's incredible. She says that's been the stereotype, but I believe that's changing. No, miss. women are not all of a sudden gaining physically more strength than men. They're built different. They are not built the same. They're built different.
Facts.
Me coming from a military background too, we train with women, and I've firsthand seen what happens to women's bodies when put under the same intensity of training. Like we had females that were breaking their hips and breaking their pelvises, breaking their bones back. I mean, just back to back, breaking their stuff, doing the same type of physical. 100-pound rucksack on your back, and you go 16 miles and then do an obstacle course, and their body's just not built for that.
No.
I think women genetically are catching up to men in strength.
Yeah, I think the emphasis on men having to be so strong and like that sort of stereotype, I think that's going down.
You think that it's an emphasis on men being strong, or men just are naturally just stronger because of their genetics?
Oh, interesting.
She's never considered.
Clueless.
She's never considered that men are just naturally stronger biologically. And this is society's fault. More and more women believe that they're literally as strong as men are. And this is society's fault, because you see every video, every show that comes out of some 5-foot woman kicking the shit out of some 6'4" guy like it's nothing.
The thing about that is, like, men will let women win fights.
Exactly. When a woman will slap a dude and he won't do anything back, and she'll think that, like, oh, I can take him and shit. It's like, no, he just didn't hit you back.
Because if a man really did with intent, open hand slap a woman, he would like knock her the fuck out just being slapped.
Right. Like the first man that
no...
decides I want to hurt you, instead of, like, most guys will get hit and just not do anything back as a woman. Like the first guy that decides, fuck this, I'm about to go ahead and, like, when the pimp just manifests out of somebody and he just wow. when the pimp just comes out of somebody and he slaps the shit out of him, then what?
I think women are just as strong as men.
Physically?
Yeah.
Hell no.
I do.
But
It's like almost as if he's speaking to a child.
they're not, though.
But
right?
I don't think
They're not.
I don't think she's thinking in the sense of like physical strength.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. I kind of wanted to give her
The benefit of the doubt.
I wanted to give her the benefit of, like, maybe she thinks that he's meaning strength as far as like spiritual strength or inner strength or intuition. Of course, women are stronger at some things than men are stronger as, but he is emphasizing physical strength here. And she's like, no, I think women are stronger physically.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way in hell.
Like, look at this. I'm no normal dude. Look at my size. I'm just bigger, right? So I'm gonna have more muscle. That's a normal. It's just how it is. It's not.
Not all men.
No, there are of course exceptions, right? Of course, there's men who are like this tall, and you could just slap them and beat them up with one hand. But generally speaking, of course, there's men who are intuitive and very emotional in their hearts and very good at connecting with their emotions too. But that's more rare than a woman who naturally would be more inclined to be connected to her emotion. You know what I mean? Like we just have differences, and that's what we're just exploring. You know.
Wow.
We just find it really interesting how people are scared to say that we're different.
She cannot bring herself to say that men are physically stronger than women. She can't do it.
I guarantee you, because she's a college student, she's thinking more of like the theses and studies that they've done, like on like comparing the male brain to the female brain. Female brains are more apt to be more emotional and more intuitive and more psychic, if you will, than men are. It's just we use our right brains a lot more, and men use the logical side of their brain, which is the left side of the brain. More men are inclined to be left-brained, and women
Wo-
are
wo-
more inclined to be right-brained.
Women jump to emotionalism.
But that has nothing to do with like physical
Yeah,
strength, physicality.
He's
Like,
exclusively speaking about physical strength, and she can't bring herself to say that men are stronger. Damn.
I think it's okay to say that we're different. We all have our things that we're good at. Doesn't mean any sex is superior, but we're just different. We're just not the same, you know?
I think it's just the word strong is a difficult one to apply to this.
What
because
word
it's
would you
like
prefer?
saying women aren't strong.
We're only talking about physical strength. We're not talking like overall strength or goodness or any of those things. Just physically. That's all it was.
triggered.
Yeah,
She's
I think
triggered.
I get that.
She
But I'm just
understands that he's talking about
questioning
physical
if there's another word that might, make it easier for people to say yes or no to that,
I don't know. What's another good word for strong?
No, that's what I'm proposing is
It's a good word though. Strong. Strong is the word. Strong. Look at that. Strong.
How else would you define
So yeah,
physical strength?
but don't you think it's interesting though that that you yourself, you kind of struggled when we asked what are men better at? You kind of it was a struggle. It was like there was some part of you that didn't want to admit that.
because you don't want to go towards I don't want to go towards the like hyper masculinity and like feed into that.
It's hyper masculine to admit that men and women are different and that men are physically stronger than women.
That's absurd.
That's right. All right.
Absurd.
How is that hyper masculine to?
Sort of like, box that men are put in, and there's a box women are put in, and so I think it's a challenging time to be like, what?
Well, here's what I think. I think by
Darwinism at its
admitting that we're
finest.
different, but ultimately we're just two halves of one coin, right? Like we need each other, we love each other. So for real happiness and joy and peace to happen on the planet, we need to accept that we're different, but not see any one side as superior or better. It's just that we're.
Thank you, dude. Hit the nail on the head. He says men and women are different. It's not that someone is better. Like if I go right now, are men and women equal? And somebody says yes, and I say we're not equal. They take that as I'm saying that men are better than women. No one's saying they're better than them. They're just not equal. They're not the same. No one's better than the other, and they both complement each other. What women do better, men can't do as good, and what men can do better, women can't do as good. And this whole idea of like, oh, we're the same and we can do everything the same, and it's like, no, we
Like,
can't.
I'm just saying, if my house was robbed, I would rather a male officer come in that's the hyper toxic masculinity that she's talking about than a fucking female cop. Female cop will
Right.
get her shit rocked. I'm sorry, but like, just because you have a gun and a badge don't mean shit. When
Right.
it comes down to physicalities, a man is more apt to and better to protect.
He's better
Then-
suited because of his
Yeah.
biology. He's better suited to handle
Yes.
the stress. When I go down in the firefight, I want some hairy ass dude to come try to drag me out, not like little Sally to come drag me and all my gear out of the gunfire.
I'm
Like
sorry, but what if he gets shot and I have to pull him out of the? There's no way. I'm 5'8", yeah, but I'm only 110 pounds. There's no way. No fucking way.
right. This
No way.
whole idea that we're all the same and we need to be we're not at all. That's what's deteriorating society. She won't bring herself to even agree that that men are physically stronger than women are. And that is a fact. You've seen what happens in sports. You've seen what happens in sports. You've seen what happens when some Optimus Prime Transformer gets into women's MMA and just crushes.
Just different, and then we accept those differences. We love each other. We come together, and we make beautiful babies. That's what I think.
Are you asking if I agree or?
Well, no, that's just what I think. But do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that everyone's different. I think, yeah.
Do you?
Do I think everybody's different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This is
Hello, sir. Do you guys want to come talk to us?
This is cringe, actually looking at this lady. And so here we have two guys pop up literally to white knight for this lady. This guy hasn't said anything hostile or out of line up at this point.
If anybody's wondering why the faces of a couple of certain gentlemen are blurred during this video, it's not because I don't want you to see black people. It's not like I'm trying to save all you from the evil black people. I love black people in a lot of situations more than white people. But one of these guys happened to have complained to YouTube that I used their likeness without their permission. And that's why this video was originally taken down. That's a whole story. And I rant about that in a separate video on my second channel. Link is below. Enjoy. I think they like you more. I think they like you. How you doing?
They're here to save,
you want to come talk to us?
Here to save the day.
We're talking about the differences between men and women, and we're just asking people. She's not okay. Oh, I don't know. How am I gonna fix it? She's not crying. I didn't ask anything. I was just asking what's the difference between men and women. Is she crying? All right, let's go talk to her. How's it going?
What are you doing?
We're talking to people on the streets.
About what?
About the difference between men and women, what men are great at, what women are great at, everything. You want to talk to us? For my YouTube channel. Oh, I haven't asked anything upsetting at all. I'm gonna go through them with you. You want to do it? No, let's go through the questions. Let's go through the questions. All right. So we're gonna go through the questions. Hang on. I don't think so.
Ironically, the initial conversation was about men and women being strong.
I think she felt personally attacked.
Like she could not admit that men were stronger physically, then proceeds to cry. Then again proving that life and society and everything else is a certain way, and there's double standards and there's sexism and everything else. You have two men rushing to her protection, like because it's built into men to want to protect women, not the other way around. Obviously, women protect their offspring and stuff like that. But someone breaks in the house, I'm not looking for you to handle it. And I'm not looking for you to handle it because we're the same in strength. This is crazy. Crazy indeed.
I know that was intense, right? So when that happened, I couldn't believe. I'm going to share with you guys what happened, just as it's interesting, right? I couldn't believe it because I didn't ask anything wrong at all. I was just questioning her belief that men were not stronger than women physically, it seemed pretty insane. Just ridiculous. It's a lot of programming. So I just wanted to gently prod and be like, hey, because I couldn't help it. I was just like, really? And and I had no idea that she was upset. So I was so shocked when they're like, she's crying. I was like, what? So I wanted to go over and make sure she was okay and make sure, whatever. But then these guys came over and they started arguing and stuff. And it got really crazy. There was one guy, I think you only see him for a second. There was this white guy who was basically trying to put this narrative like, yeah, you've upset her, so it must be your fault because she's upset. And I was listening to them like, no, I don't agree with that at all. Actually, it's up to the person themselves to be responsible for their emotions, because a lot of situations in life, somebody could take offense, but no offense was intended. There was a story in a paper in London where, a guy offered an older woman a seat on a bus, and she was like, oh, how dare you? What are you saying? I'm old. I'm only 57 or whatever. So she's offended. And the guy was trying to be a gentleman, a nice, kind person to let someone who was a bit older sit down. So it's up to us to be in charge of our emotions and our state.
Facts. Dude is spitting facts. It's not up to no one else. This is why chivalry's dead in this day and age. Because a man trying to go out of his way, like a guy goes and holds the door for a lady right now, what do you think's gonna happen? I can do it myself.
Shaking an attitude for no reason.
I can do it myself. I don't need you. This whole idea of like, we don't need you. Like, men have made it so comfortable for women in this country, they believe they don't need them. And if the guy tries to do anything for them, they have a problem with it. Obviously, there's some outliers. She still allows me to be a gentleman. But it's like, if I were to go hold a door, I was raised to do that too.
I was raised by my parents to do that, to be a gentleman. Like I'll hold a chair out and she'll sit down, then I'll sit down at the table. Like I'll hold the door, I say that like chivalry. I like chivalry, but a lot of women take offense to it. But at the end of the day, no one, no external person, no one can make you mad. They can do something and you can choose to get mad over what they did. Or you can, like, they're saying, hey, you did this, you did that, you made her this way and that way. He can't make her anything. He can say something like, are men and women different? And she can choose to get triggered and you have to have emotional control over your own emotions. And decide whether to get mad or to not allow it to affect you. If someone says, hey, you're ugly, and you get mad about it, rather than saying, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, like that. If you choose to allow it to affect you or not, it's on you. It's not on the person that's saying anything.
Right.
The fact that you got mad about it, no one can make you mad. You chose to get mad.
Right.
So he's spitting facts on that. We have to be accountable of our own feelings and our own emotions. But yeah, that's crazy. That whole video, that shit was insane. You have any last thoughts on that? Because more and more women think that way too.
And it's sad too. They're teaching shit like that in colleges. She's so misinformed.
Most colleges are women, and most of them are left-leaning liberal
right.
college.
Right, you're right. But also, you got to look at the geographic location where he was at.
Right.
Wasn't he in New York?
I think so.
Which is all like left-leaning.
Yeah, he was in New York.
Mm-hmm. And just to go back on the chivalry thing, why do you just say thank you? Like, why do you have to make it a big deal?
Right.
Someone holds the door open for you. Oh, thank you. Like you have your hands full. I could do it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna close the door and let's watch you struggle to open it with your hands full.
Why not do something for someone else?
Right. Like
they don't like it though.
But the thing is like, why not be the light for that person that day? You don't know what people are going through. So if he holds the door open for you, or I hold the door open for you, why would you give me a stank face? Why would you side eye me? For what?
I haven't been to New York, but I'm pretty sure people up north are like impolite anyway.
Yes.
Like, people down south are like, hey friend, as soon as you walk by, but you say hey to someone in New York, they're probably like.
So my grandpa's from Boston, and he took my mom when she was probably about 16 up there with my grandma, and they went to go visit family and stuff up there, and my mom said that everyone up there is rude as fuck. It's not like down here in the South at all.
Yeah.
It's not like down here at all. People are rude. They just look unhappy as fuck.
The crazy thing about chivalry is that women will get mad if you try to be chivalrous, and then
ridiculous.
At the same time expect you to do something if someone snatches your purse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need you, but when someone breaks in the house, we need you.
Right. And that's like that's the same thing like masculine women, right? They're in their masculine era. And they're like, I can do all this and that, but they want you to sit there and like pay all the bills. They want you to do all this, do all that. And it's like, but what are you doing for me?
Right.
Like, what are you bringing to the table? It's ridiculous all the way around. Like, I'm very not with the whole, I guess, this whole feminist thing.
Yeah, this whole modern shit is whack.
Yeah, this modern shit is crazy. But see, I was raised by my grandmother, who was born in 1936. So
facts.
My mom was MIA for a lot of my childhood. So my great grandma raised me.
Was a blessing to you.
Yeah, she raised me, and my great grandpa actually taught me, like, this is how you need to be. You want to be married when you're older. You want to, this is how you need to look at your mama and, do what she does.
Mama.
Yeah.
This is the day and time that we live in, though. This shit's crazy. This woman could not due to whatever, just a lot of programming, a lot of brainwashing, a lot of indoctrination, a lot of shit that schools teach, a lot of stuff that Hollywood and movies and books and everything that you see right now has got a feminist gynocentric agenda, and sad state.
We're not going to teach our girls or our son.
I'm going to teach our girls. We got 3 kids. I'm going to teach our girls truly men's nature and women's nature, and how to navigate through that. It's not going to be some Disney fairy tale shit where everything's great. No, it's like this is how people are.
This is reality,
and this is what it is.
This is the reality we live in.
So
we need to teach our son that
At the end of the day, this whole chivalry shit's gone, but it's like he's going to be expected to protect his sisters if something happens.
Right.
So,
for real.
And get treated like shit later, possibly, for doing it. But that's it. We're going to get back to y'all with another reaction. We out.